Dear all audience around the world, parents, educators, and students. Welcome to the Real Talk with Experts, hosted by Coach Siyama Marikar and me, Professor Rania Lampu. I'm Rania Lampu. I'm advisor at Elegant Empire Education. I'm a global educator, a STEM instructor, researcher, author, and global peace ambassador. Welcome again to our education and lifestyle journey towards 2030. This forum is powered by Elegant Empire Education Malaysia, a prestigious educational-based organization which focuses on quality education for all, regardless race, country, and religion. Our idealistic and visionary founder, Ambassador Professor Esther Mala, focuses on upholding a quality education that develops individuals from all walks of life to their potential, which ignites curiosity, enriches knowledge, and nurtures personal and professional growth. Her vision matches with the mission of Elegant Empire Education as it curates a diverse range of online summits, workshops, webinars, and training sessions led by experts and outstanding leaders from various fields. Elegant Empire Education creates an inclusive and supportive environment, and by harvesting the power of technology and innovation, and through this platform, we aim to collaboratively organize educational events that will enhance knowledge dissemination, skill development, and fostering a lifelong learning global community. Elegant Empire Education strictly follows the slogan, quality education for all. Now the floor is given to the coach Siyama Marikar, introduce the prominent panelists for today. The floor is yours, Coach Siyama Marikar.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Rania Lampu, for that beautiful introduction on the organization and our panel today. So, very good evening, good afternoon, good morning, all the panelists and all the global audience joining us with us today. Once again, we are having a great Saturday evening, pleasant evening, with two beautiful people across the globe. They have joined us to share their expertise. Before we deep dive into the topic and introduce the panel, let me introduce myself first. I am Shyama Hafiz Marikar. I'm a teacher, trainer, and NLP master practitioner, and I'm staying in Oman. So today we have two eminent panelists from different parts of the world. So today we are going to have a special session because, as you all know, this is the end of the year, right? This is going to be our final session for this year. And so this year we thought that to have more importance, to give more importance for a very interesting topic, which is all about social media. We all know that social media has become an integral part of our life, and especially in this era, 21st century, social media is something that we cannot live without. But what about their safety? And especially when it comes to youngsters, students, school children, right? And adults, are they using it properly? And as parents, educators, are we guiding them properly? So what can we do today? What are the precautionary measures that we can use to safeguard them on social media, right? And let's talk about it. First, I have Madam Ariana, all the way from Sierra Leone, and she is a trainer and entrepreneur, and she is holistic educational solutions. She finds she's designing and delivering workshops mainly in the areas of transformation and coaching. And she's also the founder of Ariana Diaries and founder at Ariana Day Care and Preschool. She is dealing with the early child students, like at the age of preschoolers, we can say, or elementary school level students and teachers who handle them. So she has vast knowledge in that and experience in that. Right, ma'am?
Yes,
So,
I do.
welcome to our forum. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing very well. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to everyone. Good evening or good morning if you're on that side of the globe.
Thank you very much. And so I just gave an introduction about social media. It is, yes, we cannot say we can live without social media. It has become a right hand for us, right?
Yes,
But
it has.
yes, how can we, like, why this social media is important for generally, for everyone you can see, including small children or youngsters.
Exactly so.
Yeah, you may proceed. Yes.
Okay. As a social media, it has replaced what we call community. Before we would reach out to each other, but now we have a global village. Everybody from all around the world, we're interconnected. And oftentimes we forget that the same rules that we have in our physical person applies in the online space. One of the reasons why we need to make social media really safe, firstly, I would say it has to do with privacy, especially for parents, especially for school teachers. There's so much information that we share about our children and young people, and we do not think before we share. Mind you, the social media space, it is like leaving a footprint. For each form that you fill, they collect your data. And this data, if it is not handled well, can fall into the hands of wrong people. And this is why we have a lot of issues now around identity theft. We have young teenagers who are being stalked online. We have children who are suffering from cyberbullying and who are becoming suicidal because there are strangers who are approaching them and they're body shaming them or making them do things that are outside of the moral compass. The second part would be our mental well-being. You see in this social media streets, we have an overload of information constantly. And it's really hard for most of us to just put down our phones. So we are having underlying health conditions because we are totally online all the time. And besides that, for the young people, they are seeing images that are not all true. They're seeing unrealistic pictures and they want to become these people. They're seeing videos of fancy cars, branded clothing, and all they want to do is to acquire goods. And we all know that nobody gets rich like that. People go the extra mile to put on a special face for social media. Lastly, before I hand over again, is that misinformation. Social media has become the gateway for misinformation because most people think that as soon as they see a certain information online, it is true. And because it is so fast and so effective, the wrong information goes like wildfire. For most times we've had, I'll say that later, revolutions happening, youth going to the streets just because they saw an information that they were not able to verify, and that landed them into trouble. So we have to look at social media from a very informed perspective, where we are fact-checking, we're critically asking ourselves the right questions, and ultimately we're being more informed and responsible when we're online.
Thank you very much, madam. That's very wonderful points you mentioned, from privacy to misinformation, right? So we have a responsibility as educators to guide them. Yes, let's see what are the guidance we can give, how we can handle this very politely, at the same time appropriately. To discuss on this, we have our second panelist, Dr. Natalia Berkarshwar. Welcome
Yes,
to our forum, ma'am. How are you doing?
Good evening. Good evening. How are you? I'm very glad that you invited me. Thank you for this invitation. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, and thank you,
Joining
Esther,
with us?
for such great opportunity. So, as you know, I'm also a teacher.
Yes, I would like to say a few words about you. You are Dr. Natalia from Georgia. She is an English teacher and she's also mentoring teachers at public school and private school in Georgia, international speaker, writer, and education officer at Elegant Empire Education Action. So, very warm welcome again. And ma'am, your question is, what now very beautifully Madam Mariana mentioned, what are the things that we have to be more concerned about on social media, especially about children? They live in unrealistic world, right? They're misguided through that. So what precautions should be taken by parents and teachers to ensure our children are safe in social media? What's your
So,
point?
yeah, you know, as I'm as a teacher and also with a parent, like we know that we are against very big danger, like, and we should be very, very careful. So, we should be very careful at first. As you mentioned, it's very important to take into consideration everything and to have our students or children near us, because sometimes it happens so that children hide something from their parents because they think that their parents will or teachers will quarrel to them or fight to them. And as for me, I all the time trying to be friendly and all the time trying to explain them how to be safe. For example, at first as parent, as we can do so that not to upload so many photos of our children. I think it's very important. We should all the time tell our students and children not to share their privacy, their private information, because once I had situation like in one of my class that I had a boy of 8 years old, and he shared all kinds of information to one boy. I don't know who he is. He was from other part of Georgia, and then he was bullied, and then he was telling that if this boy would not behave like this person would kill his parents. And this boy was very little and believed and was very stressed, and we had a situation like that. There was a need of a psychologist as well, and the psychologist worked with this boy. And once I had the situation as well that one of my students told the password of his Facebook to the friend. So he was like a child and didn't know what would happen. And these children shared many bad things from the person's Facebook. So after that, I decided to do the club of informal education, and there I decided to teach them 21st century skills like critical thinking. And in this critical thinking, I'm trying all the time to explain them what is fact, what is opinion. At first, they should be able to differentiate fact and opinion, because we know that nowadays children have ability to see everything on internet. They should be able to sort out what is necessary for them, what is not, what is true, what is not, what is the fact to believe and what not, because sometimes it happens so that even headlines are so eye-catching that even we adults sometimes happen so that even for us adults it's very difficult whether or not to believe or believe. Yeah, we should teach them the difference. We should also literacy. Yeah, so impact of media literacy as well. And when they are so knowledge about everything, when they are educated, when they know many things, it will not be easy for us, for everybody else to lie them. And so it will be very well, everything will be very well done. So we should teach.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, not only just guiding them, don't share your password and telling them. It's also equally important as educators to develop their skills For example, like critical thinking, what is the difference between fact and opinion, right? So that they, by themselves, they will identify which is correct, which is misinformation. That's a great point. Thank you very much, Dr. Natalia, for that wonderful points. With this, I would like to give a small reminder for global audience. If you have any queries, please type on the comment box via FB stream. And for any panelists who have anything, please type on the chat box so that our Professor Dr. Rania will come to know about your queries. Now, I think it's time to hand over the podium to our beautiful Dr. Rania Lampu to
Yes.
proceed.
So actually,
Hello.
Dr. Rania, you'll be, you are not going to close now, right? We are supposed to do discussion. You want to ask question? We can chit-chat.
Yes, I would like to ask
Our panelists.
Ms. Ariana, because I have many students who are coming to our workshop in the ministry. We're conducting a workshop on cybersecurity, and we have many cases of students who are suffering from mental health disorders because they can't handle actually social media. How we can help them realize that it's a fake world, it's a narcissist world, which cultivates egoism, which cultivates a fake personality. We are forced to become fake. You know, when we post, Miss Ariana mentioned this, when we post a nice car or a nice, you know, something which maybe it's not true. This usually, according to all research data, research studies, causes stress and mental health, depression among children, not only children, but also adults. So how we can help the children is what I'm doing in the Greek ministry, in my workshop, to help them realize that it's fake. So what are your suggestions, Ms. Ariana?
You are muted there. Please unmute.
That's a beautiful question. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Rania. One of the ways that we can get children to know that social media is not always true, my fellow panelist has already covered, which is giving them the necessary knowledge, the know-how to be able to filter through information, to be able to understand what is fact and what is opinion. The other way is to really get them to be empowered to form social relationships outside of the internet. What is happening now is a lot of children do not have friends. They have no social relationships. Parents are so busy, so they spend all of their time in a world of cyberspace. So forming groups, going back to our roots, what our grandmothers and grandfathers thought were important, after school clubs, hands-on activities, arts, music, dance, drama. These are the outlets that we can expose them to that would occupy their time. But more importantly, knowing that when they're on social media, emphasizing the right use of language, that this is a virtual reality. So even as adults, what we tell ourselves is what we become and what we believe. So emphasizing, using the right language, that virtual reality, the people on social media are not always real. You have to be able to get into your inner space, be able to discern and decipher who is real and who is not. And this is why we have to activate online mentors. So go ahead, please.
Yes, I want to say that even if we know that they're real, how we can help them handle with jealousy, for instance. I had a student who she was on a school excursion, so she went next to the cliff to take a selfie, you know, an impressive selfie, be wow, and she got killed. So this is what I mean, how we can help them realize that it's not the whole world for them, social media. Even if the people are real, how we can handle this?
Natalia, Dr. Natalia, you can also answer.
Okay.
Because this is a discussion session. We can just take
That's
it
right.
casually.
Yes.
Yeah, need not be very formal. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mean how we should help them to socialize, yeah?
This actually what Dr. Rania, if I'm not mistaken, I think what you mentioned is they take selfie and all that. Yeah.
Yes, and how we can help them understand that it's
understand.
not the real world and that they don't need to be depressed if they see the nice photos of others, don't need to be jealous, because many people are suffering from this kind of mental health disorders. They can't handle the jealousy, for instance.
Yeah, you know,
This is
yeah,
what I
it's
mean.
real life, it's real life situation, and that's why we need some kind of psychological sessions as well. In my class, for example, I all the time as a teacher, maybe once a month or twice a month, I have some kind of activities, and we should teach them the valuability of something else. We should teach them how they should not be jealous, like we should teach them that everything doesn't happen like they want, but maybe someone else is more beautiful, but they have something better, or maybe they can find, you know, that every person has talent or something gifted by God, like, yeah, and they have to spread it all over. So every person has good things we can love with and bad things we cannot love. It's up to us. It depends on us, which we choose. And that's why I teach my students and my children that we should just see the good points, yeah? And in this case, if they are able to do these things, they will never be jealous, believe me.
We
They
have
will
to
not
create-
have this.
Yeah, you're right. I think we have to create this awareness in the
Yeah.
children first. Yeah. I tell you, this
Mhm.
doesn't happen among the children. It's happening it's happening
Yeah.
daily with adults. So when the
Yeah.
adults cannot control themselves, how do you think the children going to control? So I think it's the duty of every teachers, educators, and parents to create the awareness about why we need social media, how it could harm us. It's not just, I mean, I don't know if I'm wrong, please tell me. I think we always say teach the children, teach the children. But how do we teach? That's a big question. In school, yeah, teachers know how to teach. But now it's all learning through playing. So when we teach like we do activities and we talk to the children to
Yeah.
create awareness. But at home, how do you do? Parents, there's no excuse. What do you think? There's no excuse. I'm busy. That is a lazy man's word. I
Yeah.
think parents, yeah, whether you like it or not, don't point at me. Yeah, I don't have children. Don't tell me that. I'm biased. No, I'm not biased. What I'm telling is, you brought the children to the world.
Yeah. This was your choice.
This
The
is your
responsibility.
choice. You
It's
make
a
the choice to have
responsibility.
1, 2, 3, even 10 children if you want.
Yeah. Nobody made you do this, but
Yeah.
if you chose this and if you did this, you are
You have to
responsible.
take charge. You have to
Yeah,
take
you have
charge.
to take charge. So
Yes.
I think what parents, you don't tell them, don't touch a phone, don't play video game, don't watch that, don't watch. If you say too many don'ts, and they are going to do,
Yeah.
they are
It's
going to do more. What we do, how we can create awareness? How can we create awareness? Say at
So
home.
we should explain them. We should explain them and we should teach
Yeah.
them how
Yeah.
to use. We are not able to prohibit and we should not prohibit.
Do you
We should
agree?
explain them and
Yeah.
we should make
I-
them see the good points and bad points.
Yes.
If they
Exactly.
understand this is nonsense if you ban, they would still do this. But
Okay.
if they,
And-
yes,
Okay.
And what we must also not forget is that children do not necessarily listen to what you tell them, but they act like you act.
Yes.
So role modeling is very important. If
Yeah.
you as a parent are spending all of your time in front of the TV, then you cannot teach your children any different.
And mom and dad busy on handphone with the Facebook and
All the time.
WhatsApp, chit-chatting. I don't know why. If you ask me, I don't like to text more than 10 minutes. I will do a lot of mistake because my mind does not want to focus on that texting. because I got a lot of things to do. So I make a lot of mistakes. So I said I better call because I don't know how people can text for hours, and they bring this habit into communication, the real communication in the world, at work. Even they want to talk to their bosses. This is real life experience, okay? I had my staffs before talking to me on WhatsApp. I say, you stop that thing. You want to talk to me, you call me. You don't keep on texting me, okay? I have no time to text. Reply your text. This is how sometimes I tell my staff because they don't know, they don't have the understanding. Same, it goes for children and parents. Why don't the children now, WhatsApp is free, they have the data, they can just call and talk to the parents. Mom, Dad, today I'm coming back late or I'm not coming for dinner. Why don't? Parents are complaining. I'm asking, when are you? I'm calling, no reply, not picking up my phone, but texting me what you want. The child is asking the parents, what you want? Are you coming for dinner? No, I'm with my friend. Also text, no call. So there's no communication. Words, we all must remember, words has no life. Our text has no life. That's why we sometimes add emojis to let people understand our feeling. I'm not angry, I'm happy, I'm laughing. Why we put that? Because if you just put mere text, people can misunderstand about you, right?
Yeah.
So how do we, okay, you said like Dr. Natalia said and Dr. Miss Ariana said, we have to talk, right? We have to talk to the children. So do you think, do you agree, you both are educators, yeah? We all are educators. Do you agree if I say parents should not only tell them, talk, say that this is bad, don't do this, don't do that. Why don't we have real life examples, cases? You see, when you read, you can tell them this thing happened. Maybe you have videos or you have paper cutting, newspaper cutting, anything of bad incident which is related to social media. Show them, say that like maybe you have something to do with some articles about how the social media affect their eyesight, their nerves, their postures, how it affects. So if you have any articles, pictures to show that the effects before and after. So I think when children see that kind of material, they will really say, oh, this is so harmful, rather than we talk, because words don't hurt. The impact is very light, right?
Yeah.
It's a great approach. I just want us to be mindful of that. We have to be aware of the ages of the children that we're exposing to this image, because if they're too small, it becomes scary for them. They're
Yeah,
not
of course.
totally. Well, the older ones said those that are even as young as 5, they truly understand. In fact, they understand pictures even better. And like you said, I had a workshop one time and I was showing them children who now cannot write properly. They cannot hold their pencils. They cannot draw because they've been playing video games for so long. You cannot believe it. Those kids started pacing themselves. Their parents no longer had to run after them to put their PlayStation down. They kept saying that, oh, we don't want our fingers to stop working.
Yeah.
So they made up their minds based on that.
Yeah.
So I do agree that, yes, pictures are very important. And for the older ones, also having real life experiences, encounters, mentoring session. So for example, for the older ones where you start having, like Dr. Rania was saying, jealousy and rage, getting them to meet with these celebrities one-on-one, having workshops where they get to see that these people are just like them. It is makeup, it is nice clothes, that's about it. Also confidence building, lots of games around affirmations, lots of mirror work, getting them to own themselves, that this is my face and I love it like that.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, we got to excuse Dr. Natalia. She's having a class now. Yeah.
Okay.
So what time is
Alright.
that, Dr. Natalia, at your place?
So it's 7:10.
Yeah,
7:10.
see, she's still teaching. You see, this is how dedicated teacher is. Please carry on. Thank you for coming.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for everything.
So much
Thank
for
you.
the
Thank you.
sharing. Wonderful session
Thank
to be with you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we will
Thank
continue
you.
a while. You can watch online. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Okay, we can continue since she's having class. These are
Okay.
the educators who are very committed. You see, I
Yes.
love this kind of people, very committed. You know, even the rest time she has, once she's committed, she's here. Yeah, so we all have to learn. Why I'm telling you this? Because a lot of us say we are adults. We know what we are doing, but a lot of the adults are the one who are bad example for the young ones, right?
Right.
You know,
That's
Miss Ariana, you are teaching the adults, the teachers, training the teachers. No,
Yes.
yeah,
It's so easy now, like people not wanting to work and put in the work and just wanting the results. So like you said, it's quite admirable to see someone who is putting in the work constantly and investing in the young ones.
yeah. I have to give credit, you know, to although the adults, I have to give credit to people with good attitude because now it's like a rare commodity. Not all they have titles.
That's true.
They talk very stylish and all that, but they are not really professionals. Okay, they don't know what is professionalism. Yes, so the adults are being the bad example. So coming back to what we were discussing, Dr. Rania and Coach Shyama, do you agree with what we say that just now we have to show them pictures? Like you say, smoking, example, smoking. Don't tell the children just it is smoking is bad. But again, like what Miss Ariana said, you must see the age group. Yeah. If they're too young, don't show them scary pictures. They might not understand. They get very scared. Okay. So you children above 5, they can understand, of course, certain pictures. Like you say, you talk about smoking. You show the pictures of smokers, what it caused the disease. We say heart disease, cancer, that, and this. Show them the picture. This what happened. Show them the picture where the lungs are affected due to smoking. Vaping. No, vaping is more dangerous than the smoking. Both are equally bad. You know, people think that vaping is okay, but vaping is worse than just smoking. Both are bad, but vaping is dangerous. You know, so we have to show them the pictures so that it will impact them better. They can remember what they saw, the pictures, like the mind they can remember. You don't have to tell them again and again. Once you show them, they remember. You know, so that's what I was thinking. Is there anything else you want to talk? You see, like for example, for another example, you see like the video games and all that, even WhatsApp, SMS, we should not be having the habit of texting too long. That is very bad, right? Can affect our fingers, our eyes, our nerves, our body posture, everything it affects, right? So must minimize that. Video games, I have mentioned in earlier forum, too addicted to video games. This boy in US, it came out in newspaper and social media. He murdered his own sister and parents because he got agitated because he was asked every day, the sister, the parents say, enough, don't play video game. So you see how it can control the mind and all that. See, so rather than, I think what the adults, we don't worry about them too much. If they want, they will find the way to heal themselves, right? But children, it's our responsibilities as teachers, educators, and parents to closely watch them and do what is necessary for them.
I totally agree with that. I think I would want to share a last real life example or point. We often forget that when children see things, they want to practice, they want to do it. So a lot of the issues that we have around sexuality and things like that, most times there was a case where a couple of adolescents, what they saw on the movie, they started acting it out to themselves. And it was a problem because one of the children got sexually penetrated, and it became a big scandal. So they were saying, where did you see this? Who taught you this? Who has done this to you before? And the girl said, it is my friend. The children involved were under 10. They were under 10 years.
Yes.
And yet they had been exposed to very pornographic movies that the older cousin did not know that they were watching. So when he would be watching, they would go and observe, and then they go practice it out until it turned into a big scandal. And those children, because of how it was done, they needed to go see a psychologist, because even the schools that they went to, the schools started saying they would bring bad influence to the other children. They didn't want them to be a part of the school anymore. And we had to do some interventions. But what I keep reminding parents and teachers is that a child is always a child. A child cannot be evil. It is us as adults that understand the difference between bad and good and right. So it is our responsibility to ensure that the environment, online as well as within our physical spaces, is safe.
Exactly. Very well mentioned. Yes, I agree with that. As parents, many parents, they may take excuse like we have no time. But when it comes to things like this, what they watch, at least they should know, right? Parents should know what they watch and what. Under supervision, the children should be under supervision. Even if you don't work, one of the parent can be responsible for these things, right? So it should be like sharing and caring for the betterment for children. We cannot simply omit that responsibility. We have to handle them because, as you mentioned, they are children. Once they spoil, it's difficult to bring them to the right path, right? So we should, as parents especially, we should have that responsibility in mind. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Dr. Professor Islamala? Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Rania?
Yes, I fully agree. And I want to say that, again, I want to point out the vanity of social media because, okay, fame is a powerful drug. Everyone wants to be famous. And the trouble is that social media has become a celebrity-obsessed culture and a legitimate way, we could say, for someone to get famous. But all this, what are the traps are implicated in this. So we need to highlight all the time to remind our children about the vanity of this social media world.
Yeah.
Becoming famous through social media, it should not be their long-term goal. There are so many other visions and dreams that they can pursue, not this.
Exactly. You must share with them the dangers, the stories of what happened,
I'm telling this, sorry to interrupt you, because I'm reading every day newspaper that the new profession of the future is becoming a global influencer. And I have got so many parents all around the world. They are already training their children not to go to school, but to become influencers already at the age of 13, 14 years old. Yesterday I was reading about this. So parents want to, for the children to become global influencers because they will become rich and famous at an early age.
I was telling just now, right? Parents are sorry to use this word, harsh word, but parents are they are the creator of all the problem. They are mother of creator of problems. Parents,
Yes.
You see, like now, what actually, you see, even yesterday, I agree with you. Even yesterday, I watched a video, a reel. It just appeared when I was on social media. 5 years old child, only about 5 years old, dressing sexily, walking in a runway, Who do all this? Tell me. And the children,
Parents.
5-year-old child is dressed so sexy. So what are we doing? Are we inviting trouble or not? Why should we, at this tender age, we should educate them with something constructive. What is important for them now? To study, to learn, to do activities. That is important. They are giving this sort of activities. Parents are competing. My child is brilliant. They are making robots. They give birth to baby. As long from the 9 months in the mother's stomach, it is a child. Okay? The child grows peacefully. The moment the child is out, parents are making robots now. Because they don't let the children grow. They want to make them grow as they want. Parents, you got to ask yourself, don't torture your children, give them too many activities to do daily. Some healthy activities, it's fine. Yeah, after school, what type of activities to give them? Give them time to rest after school. If possible, give them after shower, nap. Ask them to sleep 1 hour, give them rest. No homework, nothing. Go and rest because they wake up very early in the morning. So parents, we have to guide them. Don't tell, oh, I'm working, I cannot. No, you can do that. Put a timetable for them. And of course, you have maid or somebody there. Let them observe what is the child doing. Yeah. So the children have some guidance. So during weekends, get them into work with you. Cleaning the house, cooking, gardening. Yeah, you can go and play games together. So you try to draw away the child from gadget time, even watching television. What we have, cartoons. Look at the cartoons now. Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry, even adults like. I used to like before, but ever since I see the message which is coming across is fight.
Violence.
Who is better? Trick. So we should not allow children to watch such cartoons. Fighting all the time, the cartoons, So we must screen what our children watching on television. They can watch cartoons, but what type of cartoons? Yeah, all this we have to, don't take it lightly. Oh, it's okay, it's just a cartoon. No. We know what is good and bad, right? Like Miss Ariana said, children don't know. They just absorb like a sponge. Okay? And later when you tell them this is bad, they say, why bad? You let me watch. You allow me to watch. And now you are telling me it's bad. So this is what happens. So like you said, I would like to remind the parents, for some time ago, I think in India, many children die, commit suicide because of this game, Blue Whale. Yes? Yeah, I heard about this. Suddenly I remembered that. So you just imagine what does a game, a simple game in the handphone or PlayStation, game station can do to your child. A child can murder parents. What happens to the love and all that? So these children have no attention. Don't buy everything they ask. Give what you think you should give them and refrain from giving them. Don't tell them you do your exam well and I'll buy you the PlayStation. No need, no need. No need. Don't give all the luxuries and spoil them and later you mourn, groan, cry. It's too late. And because the parents are not bringing up the children in a proper manner, they don't groom the children at home well. When they go to school, they go out, they step out of the house, they become a troublemaker out there. At home, they show tantrum, they throw things everywhere, they quarrel with the sibling, they quarrel with their parents. When they step out of the house, they quarrel with the neighbors, they quarrel with the strangers, they quarrel with the peers in school, even teachers. Because why? Children see parents attacking teachers. So the children do what they see They do. So parents, we got to take full control of ourselves first and guide our children. If you don't guide our children, then everybody is going to suffer, especially parents. You're going to cry seeing your child affected. Yeah. So I think, is there anything else before we close? We can pass back to Coach Syama. We can pass back to Dr. Rania, right?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Ariana. We'll meet again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's really great pleasure having you with us. You'll come back again to our other programs. Back to you, Dr. Rania.
Thank you, Coach Syama, Marika, panelists and participants. It's a great honor to give the closing remarks now to the forum Real Talk with Experts. And what a joy to organize this forum online and to be able to welcome experts and dignitaries in the field of education, which is a good sign to collaborate together to enhance the education system globally. I would strongly emphasize that the slogan "Quality Education for All" accomplishes the mission and vision of Elegant Empire Education. Thank you, Ms. Ariana Oluwole from Sierra Leone, for highlighting that in the global village we live in and our interconnected world, the respect and effective management of privacy data should be our first priority, especially for younger students. The second priority should be our mental health and mental well-being, because we are bombarded with so much information and fake news that especially children and teenagers are not able to filter out properly. So we need to adopt always a critical view towards the huge information we receive. I would like also to thank Dr. Natalia Berkachashvili from Georgia for pointing out the critical role of parents in guiding students regarding the use of social media. I would like to thank her for sharing concrete examples from her working school environment, which actually depict this darker side and darker reality of social media. She said how it's important to not to share private information, how to make the difference between fact and opinion, and to sort out what is true and what's not true. Finally, altogether, we discussed about how we can create awareness, how especially parents are responsible to explain to children at which degree social media are useful or harmful, how it is critical to help children realize the fake, narcissistic, and sometimes vain world of social media, how to engage them in genuine, authentic, and sincere discussions with cases and examples from the real world, and first and foremost, how parents should be close to children and give them the protection and love they need in order to be able to handle social media challenges. Before putting this forum into a close, let us give a big applause to Coach Syama Marika for hosting and moderating this forum, Real Talk with Experts. Thank you, dear panelists, for your informative talks and for the detailed insights you offered to every one of us while discussing issues on social media. Heartfelt gratitude with address to the brilliant audience, to the teachers, to the parents, and to the students who made it here with us today out of our busy schedules. And we will meet again next week. I think it will be for the next year.
Yes.
And before I let you go, let us give a big thank you to Ambassador Professor Esther Mala, the visionary founder, the brain and the heart of Elegant Empire Education as the project director.
Yes,
See you
and
soon.
I also wish to thank, it's my amazing leaders, Dr. Rania, our advisor, our coach Syama, our leader, and Dr. Natalia as well, okay, for all their contribution, and they are doing it very, very well. And we have achieved a lot this year, and we have a lot of interesting stuffs coming up for next year. So stay tuned with us, and happy holiday and Merry Christmas to everyone.